Good evening. Good evening to all my students, and if the parents are attending, good evening to you also. So this is Loris sir from Unschooler. It is a affordable online platform where your children can learn a better education. It is actually we have a very affordable platform it is, and we have a live interaction with the students. So most of the classes you might have seen it will be either animated or it will be recorded. But here, these online classes will be interactive to the students, and we will find out the problems faced by the students and interact them and make them to get a better results in their board exams. And also we have limited seats. So we have want to make a small groups so that more focus can be given to each of the students. And we have uh, excellent faculties of senior faculties we have, so they can able to guide them to the requirement of each students. So along with the live interaction, we also give enriched study material, and also the students will be can access students can access to our website where they'll get more informations and the required informations for their proceeding of their studies. Okay. So let me give you some tips regarding the board exams the students going to face. Especially when some of the students, when they see the paper, they were upset. For that, I will give you a technique how to overcome it. When you read the first 15 minutes has been provided for you to completely read the paper and take your pencil and mark the questions you are more confident and been able to remember immediately instantly. So those you just tick it down and that will reduce your attention. Secondly, the balance Joe, you have to think more that you can keep for the second option, and you take a long breath so that you will be relaxed and you will get your answer. You try to recollect it, and then first you focus on the questions which you know, properly writing their numbers in order with their subdivisions, so that when the invigilator when the correction is done, so that the evaluator should not get confused and he has to give a proper marks to you. So I will tell you the pattern of questions for this year, new year, with the 30% of deletion they have done. So there are 36 questions will come in your science paper. Out of that, section A will cover 1 to 20 questions. 1 to 20, it is MCQ questions. I carry each 1 mark. And there are from MCQ 15, 16, 17, 18, they have newly introduced a new pattern of assertion and reasoning. So that you read thoroughly. Assertion is the statement is given that you have to ascertain whether it is true or false. Then they given a second reason they given. The reason also it will be a assertive sentence, but that can be true. But whether it is a reason for the statement what they given in the assertion, that you have to compare, and it will be a little tricky. You have to be very careful to handle this. But 4 questions comes out of that. Then after that you have section B. You have there you have 20 question number 21 to 26, 6 questions where you will be you will writing the answers about 30 to 50 words answers, short and crisp, and so that uh, it carries 2 marks each. Okay. Then after that, the section C is from question 27 to 33. This carries 3 marks, and your uh, the way to what you have to write around between 50 to 80 words you have to write. If there is any diagram is required, then you draw. Otherwise, you give a correct content of the question which is asked. Then after then there are three 34, 35, 36 are 5 marks question. So there you have your answer should be around 80 to 120 marks, and there you have to be a little elaborate, and you have to give a required information so that the teacher has to give you the maximum marks for that section. So this is how it has been divided. So you have to plan properly, because especially the timing. Totally you have been given 3 hours. So you divide properly, and you have to do your do your answers properly. And you see that after you finish your question, please, if you have a time, ample of time, please read the answers you have written, then cross check it, then you hand over the paper to the concerned people. Okay. So now one more thing I just forgot to tell you. So here in science paper, you will get all the three sections. You have physics and chemistry and bio. So it will be 17, it will be equally divided. So I think bio you have 27, 27. I think so. Bio you have little 1 or 2 marks more, but it has been, but it will be mixed. It will be the mixed form. It will not be in the separate pattern. It will be a mixed form, so that you have to write properly different sections and complete the paper. Okay. So now regarding the crash course, we are conducting a crash course for this 45 days. So this crash course we will guide the students till the exam. We will give a proper guidance. We will give a adequate questions, and we will revise with the students with the wherever the students require explanation chapter wise. It has been explained, and it has been revised the pattern of the papers to the new pattern papers, so that you are fully geared up for your final exam. So this 45 days, we will try to give you the 4 subjects. We are not only maths and science, we also give uh, English and SST. So these 4 subjects, we have good faculties, senior faculties who can able to guide the students and to pursue good marks in your examination. Okay, all the best. So now I want to give you some guidelines. I'm going to take you a chemistry lecture for you. So in chemistry, I have taken the first lesson, what you all you might have gone through that. And still, I just want to give few guidelines and a few important points, and to revise that, how you have to revise for the exam point of view. I'm just going to start now. Okay, right. Please take down your a book and note it down. So we'll start with a chemical reaction and an equation. So what is the chemical reaction? You all know that the left hand side is called the reactant, and right hand side is the product what you get. I given an example there on the top. Hydrogen plus oxygen give water, 2H2O. 2H plus O2 is equal to 2H2O. So left hand side is the reactant one, and right hand side you get the product. One more example I just given you. It is Mg plus O2 is equal to 2 MgO. You might have noticed that whenever you write a chemistry equation is a must. Without an equation, you will not get a good marks. So each and every topics, you see that there will be 15 to 20 equations were given in each lesson. You have 5 chapters you have. Okay. Out of that 5 chapters, you have chemical reaction, then acid, base, and salts, non-metals, then carbon, and you have periodic table. Okay. On the periodic table, you have a table, and these other 4 lessons, you have a minimum 15 to 20 equations. Please chalk it out. Write chapter wise, you write the equations with the balanced equation, learn it so that it will be helpful for your examination point of view. Fine? Okay. Next, in this lesson, we'll go for the characteristics of chemical reaction. So how do you know that some chemical reaction taken place? There should be some indication when two compounds or two chemicals when we add. How do you know that it is reacting? So we have 5 characteristics. Already your school teachers and they must have explained you. It is 5 characteristics you have. One is evolution of gas. Second one, formation of PPT. Third one, change in color. Fourth, change in temperature. And fifth one is combustion reaction of the change of state from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Let us analyze one by one. We will take first one, evolution of gas. Evolution of gas, may I have taken a simple example. I have taken zinc, that is a metal, plus HCl is an acid, and it gives a zinc chloride and hydrogen is released. So when this experiment is done, we can see the bubbles are coming out from the solution, and that indicates that the chemical reaction has taken place. Okay, that's an example for the evolution of gas. There are few other examples also given in your book. One or two good ones you select and you learn it. Second one, formation of PPT. Yes. What is PPT? Precipitate. It is precipitate. It is a semi-solid substance is formed. That semi-solid substance is found when two chemicals are combined. Then it's the indication that the chemical reaction has taken place. Okay. So, for example, for PPT, I have taken sulfuric acid and barium chloride. So barium chloride sulfate, it will be a white PPT will be formed. When these two combine, sulfuric acid and barium chloride combine, they give a precipitate of barium sulfate is formed. That confirms that the chemical reaction has taken place. This is the second characteristics of chemical reaction. And third one, change in color. In some chemicals, when we combine, it will from one color, what the color they've changed into a different a combination of colors. For example, citric acid, and I have taken example of citric acid and potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate is purple in color. Citric acid is colorless. When the citric acid combined with the potassium permanganate and the purple color, the color of the purple color disappears. Then it becomes colorless. So that's the indication that it is a chemical change has taken place. So like that, there are 2, 3 other examples there than your textbook. When you are referring your NCERT or some reference book, when you all come to the join with us, we will guide you to the best with a few more examples. Okay. Next one, change in temperature. Yeah. This calcium, yeah, when there is a two reaction takes place, the heat is given out, then it is called an exothermic reaction. That's a reaction is called exothermic, and that is the indication that chemical reaction has taken place. Here I have just given you an example of calcium oxide plus water, it gives calcium hydroxide, and heat is enormous amount of heat is produced. So that is the indication that chemical change has taken place. The fifth one, we just go for state. A substance changes states from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. For example, we have taken a combustion reaction of wax. You must say candle. Candle, it will be at room temperature, it will be solid state. So when it's been heated and it turns into liquid, and further more heat you give to the reaction, and it will be vaporized. So it changes the state. That is another indication that these were the five characteristics of chemical reaction which is there in your textbook, which you are going to learn and you have to write it. Then writing an equation, very important is balancing the equation. So without a balanced equation, please don't write any equation. It will be useless. You will not get any marks. So you have to balance it, because the atoms towards the right hand side, number of atoms towards the right hand side, that the reactant side should be equal to the number of atoms towards your to, to, to right hand side and equal to your left hand side. So the number of atoms towards the reactant side should be equal to the number of uh, atoms the balanced side. So I have taken an example of potassium chlorate. Potassium chlorate, KClO3, and it gives two product, potassium chloride KCl plus O2 oxygen. But you can just see both these two sides are not reactant side and the product side. Product side, it is not equal. So you can see potassium, one potassium atom there, here one potassium is balanced, but chlorine is chlorine, but oxygen is not balanced. Here, there you have KClO3 and you have O2. O3, three oxygen atom, and here two oxygen. So to balance it, we have to, I show the balance equation here. You just put 2 in front of this left hand side, and here 2. So 2 and 2, potassium 2, and detail I will teach you when you all in the class. This is the demo class. I'm just taking it. So 2 KCl with 2 potassium, left and right hand side also 2 potassium. Chlorine is also, it is 2. Chlorine here it is balanced 2, and oxygen is 3 plus 2 6, and here 3 plus 2 6. So this is the balanced equation after giving an additional numericals to the equation, and so that it is balanced. Second one, a simple one, carbon monoxide. I have taken hydrogen and it gives CH3OH. So here once again, carbon is one there, carbon is one balanced, oxygen is also balanced, but hydrogen is not balanced. There are 2 hydrogen, here it is 4 hydrogen. Here it is 2 hydrogen, here it is 4 hydrogen. So we have to add just balance here 2, so that hydrogen also left hand side is 4, right hand side is 4. This properly it has to be done. You write the product side, the number of players, the number of atoms, what are participating in the reaction, and towards product side also you write. So both the numbers has to be balanced. So detailing will be say I'll be uh, explaining you when we have classes from Monday onwards. Okay. Next we'll go to ammonia. This is go to methane, CH4 plus O2. It's the same way. It has been balanced. This is the balanced side and this is unbalanced. So I have balanced and I have given it. So every equations has to be balanced. Then only your equations are complete. Okay, right? That's regarding the balancing. We have to minimum, we have to do around 20-25 equations, balanced equations we have to do to get your confidence. I don't know how many you might have practiced at home so far, but minimum I feel that 25 to 30 equations if you practice, you will get a confidence of balancing the equation. But the recent paper may, much of that balancing I have not seen. Can't say it may come this year paper. Okay. Next we are going for our same lesson. Maybe we are going types of chemical reactions. So first one we are going to see combination reaction. A simple alphabetical may be say that a, element A combines with element B gives a compound AB, or it can be A element, B can be a compound, then AB can be a compound also. Then A also can be, there are three cases. A also can be a compound plus compound can give another compound. So adding A plus B, then it gives AB. That is when two when when the two elements combine to form a single compound, it is called a combination reaction. I just given to a simple example. I have given ammonia NH3 plus HCl. Ammonia plus HCl, it gives ammonium chloride. So this is A and this is B. This is equal to ammonium chloride. Then I have taken one more example. I have taken calcium oxide plus water. So calcium oxide is a compound, and water we know that is also a compound. Combines it gives calcium hydroxide CaOH2. So this is A plus B, two compound combine and it gives another compound. So these were the examples for combination reaction. Then we will go to the second one, decomposition reaction. So decomposition means breaking. A compound can be break into two elements, or a compound can be broken into two compounds. So we have in that for decomposition, but divide to break we require some energy. So energy is in the form of, we have three types of decomposition we have in your syllabus. One is thermal decomposition where heat is evolved, heat is used, and second one is by electrolysis, and third by a photochemical. So I'll explain one by one. I will try to explain you. First one is calcium carbonate. When it is heated, it breaks into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Please note down, you are having a notebook and pen. Please note down these equations. It will be useful for your exam. This is by heating these elements, and this has been divided into this process. It is called thermal, where the heat is involved. When we heat, they breaks up into two compounds and it's called thermal decomposition. Second one, electrolysis. So for example, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, it is in the liquid form. So it is in the liquid, it is called brine, B-R-I-N-E, the solution of sodium chloride, a common salt distilled in water, common salt solution, it is also called brine, B-R-I-N-E. So in the brine, when we pass electricity by anode, cathode, two positive positive and negative poles when you pass, and it is breaks up into what happened? So we are in the second one. Sodium chloride, by passing electricity, it has they break into sodium ion and the chlorine ion, and this process it is called electrolysis by using electricity. So this is decomposition type 2. Type 3 may, it has happened, the third one, it happens in the atmosphere. When ammonia, when silver chloride in the atmosphere hit the sunlight, reacts with the silver chloride, and it becomes silver and chlorine gas. Silver and chlorine gas. This process is called photochemical process, where sunlight has been used to for this reaction. So these were the three decomposition reactions what is there in your syllabus. Okay. Next, the third one, what we go for the displacement reaction. This displacement reaction is a very interesting one. So you have, for this reaction to write, to understand, you should know the reactivity series of metals. Few important metals which has been given. That reactivity series you should know. For example, I'll read it out. It is very active elements are put in the top of the table and less reactive elements are in the bottom. So the very reactive elements are potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium. You must know this order. And in some classes they teach in some rhymes like they teach, but even I'm not aware of it. But you try to by heart this, whichever the way you are comfortable, please do that. But it should be potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, ferrous, then comes tin, lead, hydrogen, and copper, silver, and gold. Here, here what we notice is elements above hydrogen and elements below hydrogen. Above hydrogen are active elements and below hydrogens are less active elements. Okay, and these are metals. The active element, the top elements can replace the bottom elements. The bottom elements, vice versa, it is not possible. So, for example, potassium K, it can replace sodium, calcium, magnesium, all these downline it can replace. But calcium cannot replace potassium, vice versa. Also, I think you are aware. For example, we will take two more elements, zinc and copper. Zinc can replace copper, but vice versa, it is not possible. I think you all understood about the reactivity series and how the reaction has taken place. So we have taken two examples I have shown you. It is copper sulfate, zinc plus zinc. It gives zinc sulfate and copper. So copper, let's see, we have a zinc and copper. Which is more reactive? Zinc is reactive or copper reactive? Zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc can replace copper and it becomes zinc sulfate and copper. In some exams, they will make a trick they'll make. What they will do, they will give you zinc sulfate plus copper, then they'll ask you for the reaction. Then what is the reaction? Actually, the no reaction takes place because copper cannot replace zinc. So you have to be very careful. For that, you have to be very thorough with the reactivity series elements. Okay. Then second one, ferrous. Second one, ferrous with the HCl acid, hydrochloric acid. So here what we have, hydrogen and ferrous. Hydrogen, ferrous is above the table than the hydrogen. So ferrous can replace hydrogen. So here in this case, iron replaces hydrogen and the compound becomes ferrous chloride and it is plus hydrogen. Right. So this is about the displacement reactions. And next we will go to double displacement reaction. So this is of exchange of ions. See, for example, sodium, this is silver nitrate plus sodium chloride, AgNO3 plus NaCl. You must know the formulas very well. And I think last year you might have studied how to make a chemical formulas. If not, please revise those 9th standard your language of chemistry lesson and be confident of making the chemical formulas. That we will when you all join, then we will revise few things from the 9th which is required for you for the 10th standard. Okay. Now the silver nitrate plus the sodium chloride, silver metal, it is a cation, and NO3 is a radical which is an anion. So there's Sodium is a cation and chlorine is an anion. So here Ag cation pair with the chlorine and becomes AgCl, and sodium cation and NO3 anion, they combine, they form into a compound NaNO3. So silver nitrate plus sodium chloride becomes silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So this is a double decay. So the exchange of ions they taking place. So they come under double displacement of reactions. And third important reaction, this is oxidation and the reduction. I think you all very confident with the reaction. I'm not sure, but what is oxidation? Addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. Very simple. And reduction is addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen. So I have shown an example over here. Copper oxide plus hydrogen gives copper plus water. So this copper oxide loses this oxygen, the oxygen is removed and it becomes copper. So here reduction action taking place. I just showed here copper CuO, copper oxide, loses hydrogen oxygen and becomes copper, reduces. The copper is reduced and it has become, so when the copper is removed, then it is a reduction reaction. This hydrogen takes this oxygen, so it accepts oxygen and it becomes water. So oxygen has been added with the hydrogen, so it has become oxidation reaction. So these two reaction in this particular reaction means what happened? क्या हो गया? How many 30 minutes हो गया? So I think we will start with the double displacement of reaction. I think you must have understood. Sorry, there's some technical issues. And that is AgNO3 plus NaCl, it gives AgCl plus NaNO3. Then we will go for the oxidation reaction. Oxidation and the reduction. So oxidation is what? The removal of oxidation is addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. And in the reduction, it is addition of hydrogen and removal of oxygen. Okay. So in this equation, CuO and H2, it gives Cu and O. So this copper oxide loses its oxygen and becomes copper, and this hydrogen receives oxygen and becomes water. So in one case it is reduction, copper oxide becomes copper. That process is called reduction, and below it is hydrogen takes up oxygen and it is oxidation. So now another important here, copper oxide is a oxidizing agent because it gives oxygen. The substance which gives oxygen, it is called a oxidizing agent. This is allowing it to oxidize, copper to oxidize. So it is an oxidizing agent, and H2 is a reducing agent. H2, because H2 removes hydrogen from this copper oxide. So H2 is the reducing agent. The substance oxidized is hydrogen, because hydrogen combines with oxygen, forms water, So substance oxidizes hydrogen, and the substance reduced, the oxygen which is removed, it is called copper oxide. So these were asked in exam point of view regarding oxidation reduction, and an equation is given. Then you have to identify how, where is the reduction and the oxidation is taken place, and what are the oxidizing agent or reducing agent, or substance which is oxidized or substance which is reduced. And in this equation, what I have shown you, when the both the reactions taking place simultaneously, this reaction is also called by another name, redox reaction. Okay. So this is what there is another two more things left over in this lesson. That is, we have corrosion of metals and rancidity of the food. So corrosion of metal. What is the corrosion of metal? The moist and air, oxygen, reacts with the metal, especially iron, and it makes them rust. So it makes it weak, and so this reaction, this is called corrosion. Corrosion is what oxidizing of metal takes place. The equation is very important. I have not written you here. I will share with you when you are with me from Monday onwards. Okay. Next one, rancidity. What is rancidity? Rancidity is oxidation of oil. The oxidation of oil and fats. The aerial oxidation of oil and fats, it is called rancidity. You might have had nice chips, but freshly, if it is there, then it will be very nice to eat. Then after a couple of days, what happens when it is kept open or not closed properly? Then what happens? The oxygen, the aerial oxidation takes place, and it will react with fats and oils, and you will get a foul smell. It is not tasty to eat. So that action, it is called rancidity. So we have some precautions. Some precautions you have to make. About 3 4 precautions there in your textbook to avoid rancidity. So we have one, we can add antioxidants, we can add oxidant, we can add. One is called BHA and one is BHT. BHA is butylated hydroxyanisole, and another one is butylated hydroxytoluene. So these were the two antacids has been used. Antioxidants are used to uh, avoid rancidity. Then other second, third one is rancidity can be by keeping them in a refrigerator. If you keep your foodstuffs in your refrigerator, so the oxidation of doesn't take place, so your food is safe. And fourth one, rancidity can be saved by keeping them in a airtight containers, so that the oxygen will not react with them. So with this lessons, I have given an outline to you, but deeply there are a lot of things we have to learn. So chapter wise, I will be taking you all and making you to learn. That's most important. Plus, we will practice the sample papers we have, all India, all India paper we have. That for the practice we will give you. Plus, we will give you from other sources. We have a data where this current year ka questions, plenty of questions, we have sample question papers we have, that also we will share with you, so that you can able to face your exams well. Okay, all the best, good luck, God bless.